Hi again, everybody. It's Kevin Canessa coming to you from the newsroom of The Observer and TheObserver.com on this, the 14th day of February in the year 2022. Sure hope you're enjoying your Monday, no matter where it is you are in the country. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody out there. Nice day here in the Northeast, a little bit on the chilly side, but it's going to warm up again like it was this weekend later on in the week. So just a couple of days of cold, and we'll be right back to those beautiful spring-like temperatures. As you do every Monday, you welcome me into your home so that I might bring you this week's news. And as you can see, this week's front page is up, and the headline is Red Bull crap. And look, I don't know how this happened. I really don't. And I'm surprised it took this long for anybody to notice it. But it did take a while for people to notice that the Red Bulls of Major League Soccer were having their home opener on Sunday, the 13th day of March 2020 at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. That is, most of you probably know this already by now, but that is also the step-off time for the 2022 West Hudson Associations of the United, I always get it wrong, the United Irish Association of West Hudson's 22 St. Patrick's Day Parade. Now, most of you know there was no parade in 2020, and there was no parade in 2021. And somehow, when Major League Soccer went about getting the dates that there would be blackouts for the stadium, the Red Bulls didn't tell the league that March 13th is the annual parade, something that's happened here long before the Red Bulls were even a thought, okay? So the soccer club says that it's the fault of the league. The league says nothing, and what happens is you get a soccer game at 2 o'clock at the same time the step off the parade's supposed to happen. So what they have decided, and you can debate this amongst yourselves whether this was the right move, but it was based on input from police especially. That is that the parade will kick a step off at 1 o'clock instead of 2 o'clock Eastern Time on the 13th day of March 2022. So we'll see what happens, but I don't know. I just got a sense this is going to be a logistical nightmare no matter what. There's going to be people trying to get to the stadium. Then there'll be people coming in for the parade, and there's going to be roadblocks and detours and 25,000 people going to the game and thousands going to the parade as well. I think I might stay as far away from the Harrison portion of the parade as I can, even though I live in Harrison, so it's going to be difficult to do that. But continuing along, the three honorees for the parade, you can see their pictures on the front page. I'm not going to tell you exactly who they are because I want you to pick up and read the story about the three folks who will be the Grand Marshal and the two Deputy Grand Marshals of the parade. They've had to wait since March of 2020 to get their day. And it's a good thing that the parade is happening now, so they finally get the day that they were promised 2+ years ago before COVID-19 was even something we knew about. And on a personal note, I know two of the three honorees personally, and I want to congratulate all three of them on this fine honor. It's a great honor to be able to lead this parade, and they made three fine choices for 2020, which then became 2021 and 2022. Also on the front page this week is a story about Senator Menendez. 1 week ago today, he was in Kearney, and he touted the American Recovery Act and how it has affected school districts statewide. And you'll see a little bit about how it has affected the Kearney School District and others in the area. He was here with Congressman Bill Pascrell a week ago, and he had a chance to address a roundtable that included Assistant Superintendent of Schools Flor Encarnação, who I didn't know was made the Assistant Superintendent of Kearney Schools. And just as a side note, congrats to Flor, because that is a well-deserved honor. She is a dedicated educator who has put many years in here in Kearney, and she's a great Assistant Superintendent to Patty Blood, no doubt. Moving along, the Lyndhurst Police Department instituted something that's called Special Law Enforcement Officers Class 1. and they swore in their first group of new officers. This will replace the police auxiliary program that you may know if you're a Lyndhurst resident. They assist with a lot of things, especially when there's a natural disaster, when there's a need for traffic flow and things of that nature. But while it replaces the old program, they have a couple new additional authorities that they are capable to do that these other auxiliary officers weren't. But most of them have already been auxiliary officers and are just moving into the Special Law Enforcement Officer 1 categories. And I want to thank Vinny Ortieri, the PIO at the Lyndhurst PD, for bringing us this feature, and Mayor Bobby Jan Giarrusso, of course, for the work that he did to get this off the ground and moving for the Lyndhurst Police Department. The editorial this week that I wrote is not so much an editorial as it is a column. And I basically say that if the baseball season gets delayed even by a day, I'm done. After 1994 and the strike that cost us the World Series, the fact that these billionaires and millionaires are fighting with each other over certain things is just mind-boggling. Take a look at it if you get a chance. A Harrison man has pleaded guilty to a 2007 murder that took place in Jersey City. Amazingly, with that crime, he probably would have gotten away with it, but I believe he was charged 2 years ago or a year ago with criminal mischief, and they were able to connect him to that homicide of 2007. So whenever you think you've seen it all, something like this happens. And that's not the, Caitlin Moda, my old buddy who I've known since she was wee high and an altar server at St. Cecilia's Church with her sister Tara, her twin sister Tara, is the new spokeswoman of the Hudson County Prosecutor's Office for Esther Suarez. And Caitlin had a very busy week this week. There was a lot of crime that the prosecutor's office was involved with, including this other case of a Newark police officer who was arrested after allegedly sexually assaulting an Uber driver in Kearney. Now, I just found out late, the paper's already been put to bed, that they found this guy's badge in the back of her car. He left his badge in the back of her car. So, I don't know. Innocent until proven guilty, I know. But he has been charged with a sex crime against this poor Uber driver, a woman who was driving in Kearney. Why he was in Kearney, I don't know. And I don't think that we ever will, necessarily. A couple of other things. Father Joe Mancini rededicated the Four Chaplains Monument on Sunday the 6th. And we have a photograph of that. We have another story from Caitlin Moda about a wrong-way crash where the driver who was driving on the wrong side of 1 and 9 in South Kearney at the Sean Carson Robert Nguyen Bridge died, head-on collision. Just a horrible, horrible story there. Jim Haig has his usual sports, but one of the most interesting stories you will ever read in the Observer Sports is about a new flag football league for young women. And it appears that Lyndhurst High School will have a team, as will Harrison High School, but he's got a feature on the Lyndhurst team, and that's pretty cool. It's certainly different. I don't think it's a varsity sport. It's a club sport, but nonetheless a great new athletic program that will allow young women who are not necessarily ready for varsity football to play touch football. So take it out from Jim Haig. He's also got an Athlete of the Week, and of course, I'm not going to tell you who that is because I want you to pick up the paper and see that. One final story in this week's edition of the paper. The town of Harrison has a new councilman. I'm not going to get into too much of this right now because I really just don't know why this happened, but apparently Francisco Nascimento resigned his seat on January 21st. We never knew about it. Nobody told us that he resigned. I didn't see any official announcement anywhere. I looked on the Harrison website. I looked on social media. Saw nothing about Frank's resignation. He's gone back to Portugal so that he can take care of some family members who are ill. So we're going to miss him. He was a good guy, Frank Nascimento. And it is almost about time the bottom line, he was replaced by Delphine Sarabando. Now, that's another situation. We'll get into that and maybe on another day, but he was sworn in on a Saturday. There was no notice given to us at all about it. We would have covered something like that. We looked like idiots because last week it was in another newspaper. Nobody told us about it, but it was very sinister that this happened on, that Frank resigned on the 21st. We didn't know about it, and then he was replaced. It was almost like it was just too quiet. So, congratulations to Mr. Sarabando, who is a great addition to the Harrison Town Council, no doubt. But just the way this went down just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. 2 pages of classifieds, as there are every week. And if you're looking for a job or a place to live, you're going to find it in this week's edition of The Observer. And that is it. I want to thank each and every one of you for logging on and joining me tonight. We'll see you back here 1 week from tonight if nothing happens during the course of the week. And until then, stay warm, stay safe, stay happy. From the newsroom of The Observer and TheObserver.com, Kevin Canessa signing off for now. Hope to see you back here again very, very soon. Enjoy the rest of your Monday, everybody.